Okay, first I want to talk a little history. It's nice to work in some of the history here at Virginia Tire and Auto. Many of you know the story. This company was started in 1976 by Myron Bonkorowski. At the time, he was working for Texaco. He had been with Texaco for 10 years, and he was a rep calling on gas stations throughout the metro Washington, D.C. area. And he was frustrated. He was frustrated with the bureaucracy, the stifling bureaucracy at Texaco. And he saw all these dealers, 150 dealers that he served. He realized a couple things. He realized, one, they weren't taking great care of customers. And number two, they seemed pretty happy. So he figured if he could go on and open his own gas station and affect customers' lives and affect employees' lives, make everyone's lives better, that he'd be pretty happy doing that. So with encouragement from his wife, Carol, Myron purchased Main Street Shell in Fairfax, Virginia, 1976. MSS Inc., many of you guys see the paycheck. MSS Inc., that's where it comes from, Main Street Shell. Yeah, Chris Allen, right? I got a few of those. So, Myron built a following, both customers and employees alike, and he did a great job. And Texaco and Shell said, "You're doing a good job for us." So he gave them more gas stations. And they did a great job. And at one point had 6 gas stations, right? So they opened gas stations throughout the 1980s. And this is back when Myron started in the gas station business, it was the full service model. You guys remember the full service model? 42 years ago, people would come out and very service oriented. They would come out and greet people at the gas stations and the pumps. And Myron knew all the customers, knew all the employees, talked about the values, the expectations. They did things differently. They wore ties, they were professional, they were genuine, they were candid with customers, very attentive. For those of you who worked with Myron, never wanted to have a bureaucracy, wanted to have a great company, make decisions, help people be happy, give them coaching, give them guidance. So at one point this company had 6 gas stations. And Myron realized that the gas station business was changing. And in 1988, he purchased land in Centerville, Virginia, became Centerville Automotive, first tire store, 1988. And he went out and he affiliated with Goodyear. So we got Goodyear to come in, and we identified that store as Goodyear. For the first several tire stores, we called them Goodyear Stores, right? Very forward-thinking. Myron was talking with Goodyear, and he said, "How many customers do you have a day?" And they said, "We have 17 customers a day." And Myron said, "Well, I've got hundreds of customers a day at the gas stations. Hundreds, literally. Everyone coming to fill up gas we talked to." And so what Myron did was, it was very forward-thinking, was he opened the lube bays and it integrated it part of Centerville Automotive and built 10 bays, 4 of which were dedicated lube bays. And the purpose of that was to build the customer base, build the relationship with the customers. At one point, they did over 130 oil changes a day at Centerville. That's where convenience comes from. That's where being forward-thinking, attentive, this is how this company has always operated. So Myron opened in 1988 the first Goodyear store, and then in 1992, 93 opened Ashburn, Chantilly, opened Gainesville in 1999. I first met Myron in 1998. So Julie and I have been dating for 20 years now. And I remember Julie and I had come home from college. We had met at college, and we were going out, and it was normal for college kids to go out after about 8:30. Well, Myron went to bed at about 8 o'clock. For those of you guys that worked with Myron, you remember he went to bed at 8 o'clock, about 8:10 or so, and he woke up at about 4:10 religiously, wanted to set the example. And I remember I hadn't met Myron, but I'd been going out with Julie for some time, which of course, like any good father, Myron wanted to meet me and make sure that I was okay. And I remember when I showed up to Myron and Carol and Julie's house, they rang the doorbell, and Julie must have been a little nervous about this meeting because she dropped a plate, and so they're cleaning up the plate. Myron says, why don't we go out on the porch and talk for a little while? So I'm 19 years old, and Myron's asking me these questions, and Who are you? Where do you want to go? What business do you like? Tell me about yourself. Tell me your values. That's how Myron was. And I hadn't really been asked, no one really asked me those questions before, but got me thinking about things and who do I want to be and where do I want to go in life? That's how Myron always was always a coach, encouraging people. So the business continued to grow. In 2006, we took over Cascades and Dulles, and we had just rebuilt Springfield. So those were the first Virginia Tire and Auto stores, 2006. We took over 3 stores. So at the time, we had 5 gas stations. We had 4 Goodyear stores and 3 Virginia Tire and Auto stores. This is 2006. And in 2007, we started making a decision. I joined Myron. He asked me to join him on this journey and creating a great company and building a company. We talked about what are the pros and cons around being affiliated with Goodyear. And I said, look, this company is great. This company has a lot of good characteristics. It's built on service. It's built on leadership. It's built on values. I said, let's create a brand around this company. Let's stand for something. It's, all the stores were affiliated with Goodyear. And quite honestly, we felt we did things much better than Goodyear. So we made a decision. We're going to build a company around a brand, Virginia Tire and Auto. We're going to build a brand. We're going to start tying these companies together. We're going to start doing things consistently. We tied the networking together. All the systems, the computer systems started talking to each other. We started creating a brand, a logo, a mark, started creating standards, sharing these things across with the customers, created a website. We started building something. We wanted to be identifiable in the marketplace. Nothing makes me more proud than where we are and where the progress we've made in this journey.